role of avocado fats in lubricating aging joints. What if I told you that the solution to your creaky, painful joints might be sitting in your fruit bowl right now? Have you ever wondered why some people in their 80s move with the grace of someone decades younger, while others struggle with every step by their 60s? The difference often lies not just in genetics, but in what's happening inside their joints specifically, how well those joints are lubricated. Today, I'm going to share something fascinating that researchers have discovered about a common fruit that could be your joint's new best friend. I'm Dr. David Walker, a senior health and psychological wellness expert with over 30 years of experience, helping older adults not just add years to their lives, but add life to their years. We often think of our joints like door hinges that eventually wear out with age. But what if I told you that certain foods, particularly those rich in specific types of fats, might help keep those hinges running smoothly? One superfood stands out for its remarkable effects on aging joints: the humble avocado. Its unique fat profile might be exactly what your creaky knees and stiff fingers have been missing. Let me show you why this green fruit deserves a special place in your anti-aging arsenal. Avocado fat composition. Did you know that the fats in avocados are so special that scientists have isolated them specifically for joint health treatments? When we talk about healthy fats, avocados are often the star of the show, but few people understand exactly why they're so beneficial, particularly for aging joints. Let's dive into what makes avocado fats truly exceptional for your body's movable parts. Avocados contain a remarkable fat profile that's almost perfectly designed for human health. They're primarily made up of monounsaturated fatty acids, MUFA, about 71% of the total fat content. The star player here is oleic acid, the same heart-healthy fat found in olive oil, making up about 9.07 grams per 100 grams of avocado. What makes oleic acid special? Research shows it has powerful anti-inflammatory properties that can help calm the inflammatory processes that accelerate joint damage as we age. Source: I remember working with Margaret, a 72-year-old retired teacher who came to me with severely stiff hands that were making her favorite hobby, knitting, nearly impossible. When we looked at her diet, it was almost completely devoid of healthy fats. "I grew up in the fat-free craze," she explained, "and I just never shook the habit." After 3 months of incorporating half an avocado into her daily diet, she reported back with excitement. "I can feel my rings sliding more easily on my fingers," she told me, "and my knitting needles don't feel like I'm gripping sandpaper anymore." Beyond oleic acid, avocados also contain smaller amounts of polyunsaturated fatty acids, about 13% of total fat, including linoleic acid and a touch of alpha-linolenic acid, which our bodies use to help regulate inflammation. Even the 16% of saturated fat in avocados, primarily palmitic acid, appears to play a supportive role in joint health when consumed as part of this perfect package. What's particularly interesting is how these fats work together. It's not just about one magical compound, it's about the symphony of fatty acids working in concert to help maintain the synovial fluid that lubricates your joints. Think of it this way: if your joints are like the engine of your car, synovial fluid is the oil that keeps everything running smoothly. And just like your car needs the right type of oil, your joints need the right type of nutritional building blocks to produce effective lubrication. So, what happens when you eat an avocado? Does it directly turn into joint fluid? Not exactly, but it's almost as remarkable. The healthy fats are digested and absorbed, then used throughout your body, including by the synovial membrane, which produces the fluid that cushions your joints. With age, this fluid often becomes less viscous and less effective, but the right fats in your diet can help maintain its quality. Want to know what's fascinating about this relationship between avocados and joint health? Research has shown that increased intake of monounsaturated fats, yes, the very kind abundant in avocadosis associated with decreased joint space width loss, which is how doctors measure the progression of osteoarthritis. In simpler terms, these fats may help slow down the deterioration of your joints. Source: have you ever wondered what makes your knees feel less creaky on some days than others? The quality of your synovial fluid might be the answer, and that quality is directly influenced by what you eat. Let's take a moment to check in with you. Have you noticed any connection between what you eat and how your joints feel the next day? Think about it for a moment. Maybe you've already observed patterns, but haven't connected the dots yet. This awareness can be your first step toward better joint health. The scientific mechanisms. Your body is performing a biochemical miracle every time you eat an avocado, turning its fats into a shield for your aging joints. Let's look at exactly how avocado fats work their magic on your aging joints, because the science here is nothing short of fascinating. Remember when I mentioned that scientists have actually isolated avocado fats for joint health? They combine avocado oil extracts with soybean extracts to create what's called avocado soybean unsaponifiables, or ASU. These are now used in supplements specifically designed for joint health. This isn't some fringe alternative treatment. It's backed by multiple randomized controlled clinical trials, particularly for hip and knee osteoarthritis. Source: but what happens when these special fats enter your body, whether from a supplement or from eating fresh avocados? The science reveals several fascinating mechanisms at work. First, avocado fats help stimulate the synthesis of cartilage components. Your cartilage is like the cushioning between your bones, preventing painful bone-on-bone contact. As we age, this cartilage naturally wears down. Laboratory studies show that compounds from avocado actually stimulate the production of collagen and aggregate, two critical building blocks of healthy cartilage. More cartilage means better cushioning and smoother movement. Source: second, and this is where it gets really interesting, avocado fats help inhibit enzymes called matrix metalloproteinases, MMPs, that break down joint cartilage. Think of MMPs like little Pac-Men eating away at your joint surfaces. Avocado fats help keep these destructive enzymes in check, slowing down the deterioration of your joints. I often tell my patients about Harold, an 81-year-old former marathon runner who came to me with severe knee pain. Standard treatments weren't working, and he was facing possible knee replacement. We added avocado to his daily diet, along with an ASU supplement. After 6 months, his orthopedist was surprised to find that the expected progression of his joint space narrowing had slowed significantly. Whatever you're doing, the doctor told him, keep doing it. Third, the anti-inflammatory effects of avocado fats can't be overstated. They decrease the production of inflammatory molecules like interleukin-1 beta, Illinois 6, IL-8, and tumor necrosis factor alpha, which contribute to joint damage. When inflammation decreases, so does pain, and the environment within the joint becomes more conducive to healing and proper lubrication. Source: but the real magic happens in how avocado fats influence the synovial fluid itself. This special fluid contains phospholipids, fatty molecules that provide the actual lubrication within the joint. The monounsaturated and polyunsaturated fats in avocados provide building blocks for these phospholipids, potentially improving the lubricating quality of your synovial fluid. It's like upgrading from basic motor oil to premium synthetic oil in your car's engine. Everything simply runs more smoothly. Source: here's a question for you. Have you noticed that joint stiffness often worsens when you've been eating poorly? This is no coincidence. The quality of your joint fluid is directly influenced by your dietary choices. And adding avocados to your diet could be one of the simplest ways to support this critical aspect of joint health. Here's something I'd like you to try at home. After watching this video, touch your fingertips together and notice if you feel any stiffness or discomfort. Rate it on a scale from 1 to 10. Then, over the next 2 weeks, try incorporating avocado into your diet using the protocol I'm about to share. After those 2 weeks, do the same finger test and compare your results. Have you noticed any difference? Share your experience in the comments. Your insights might help someone else on their joint health journey. Now, I want to be clear: consuming avocados isn't going to instantly rebuild severely damaged joints or reverse advanced osteoarthritis overnight. But the scientific evidence suggests that it could help slow the progression of joint damage, reduce pain and inflammation, and improve the lubrication that makes movement more comfortable, especially when included as part of a long-term healthy eating pattern. Practical applications. What if I told you there's a joint lubrication protocol you can start right now with avocados at its center? So, how exactly do you harness these joint lubricating benefits of avocados in your everyday life? Let's get practical with a simple plan anyone over 60 can implement, starting today. First, let's talk quantity. Research suggests that consuming about half an avocado daily provides a meaningful amount of the beneficial fats we've discussed. This is approximately 150 calories and 15 grams of fat, a reasonable addition that won't derail your weight management efforts. In fact, studies show that adding avocado to meals increases feelings of fullness, which may actually help with weight control, an important factor, since excess weight puts additional stress on your joints. Barbara, a 69-year-old patient of mine, was concerned about gaining weight when I suggested adding avocado to her diet. "At my age, I can't afford to put on extra pounds," she worried. I suggested she substitute avocado for other fats in her diet, rather than simply adding it. 6 months later, she had actually lost 4 pounds while reporting significantly less stiffness in her hands. "My rings spin around now," she laughed. "I haven't been able to twirl them like that in years." Here's a simple weekly avocado joint protocol that my patients have found successful. Monday, add half an avocado to your morning smoothie. You won't even taste it, but it adds amazing creaminess. Tuesday, spread avocado on whole grain toast instead of butter or margarine. Wednesday, make a simple guacamole to accompany lunch. Thursday, add sliced avocado to your salad at dinner. Friday, use avocado as a base for a creamy salad dressing. Saturday, try avocado chocolate mousse. Blend ripe avocado with cocoa powder and a touch of maple syrup. Sunday, mash avocado into your scrambled eggs before cooking for a creamier texture. The key is consistency. Joint health doesn't improve overnight. It's the cumulative effect of these healthy fats over time that makes the difference. Now, it's important we discuss who should be cautious with avocados. Despite their benefits, they're not for everyone. If you have a known latex allergy, be careful. About 30 to 50% of people with latex allergies may experience cross-reactivity with avocados. Also, those taking blood thinners like warfarin, Coumadin, should consult their doctor before significantly increasing avocado intake, as the vitamin K in avocados can interfere with these medications. And if you have kidney disease with potassium restrictions, be aware that avocados are relatively high in potassium. As with any dietary change, it's always wise to consult your healthcare provider, especially if you have existing medical conditions. I'd love to hear from you. Have you tried incorporating avocados into your diet before? What challenges have you faced in making dietary changes for your joint health? Drop your thoughts in the comments section below, and I'll try to address your specific concerns in future videos. For those who aren't fond of avocados or want additional support, there are other options. Avocado oil is an excellent cooking oil with a high smoke point, making it versatile for everything from sautéing to baking. And for those who want a more concentrated approach, ASU supplements are available. The standard dose used in clinical studies is 300 to 600 milligrams daily. However, always consult your doctor before starting any supplement, especially if you have existing medical conditions. If avocados simply aren't your thing or aren't accessible to you, don't worry. There are several excellent alternatives that provide similar benefits. Extra virgin olive oil is perhaps the closest substitute, containing many of the same monounsaturated fats. Nuts and seeds, particularly walnuts, flax seeds, and chia seeds, offer beneficial omega-3 fatty acids that help fight inflammation. Fatty fish like salmon and mackerel provide EPA and DHA, two powerful anti-inflammatory omega-3s that support joint health. And for those who prefer plant-based options, algae oil supplements provide many of the same benefits as fish oil. The key is consistency. With whichever option you choose, your joints need daily nourishment to maintain their health. It's also important to remember that avocados work best as part of a comprehensive joint health strategy. Combine them with other anti-inflammatory foods like fatty fish, nuts, and colorful fruits and vegetables. Regular, gentle movement to keep synovial fluid circulating through your joints. Adequate hydration, which helps maintain the quality of all your body's fluids, including synovial fluid. Maintaining a healthy weight to reduce pressure on load-bearing joints. Have you been avoiding fats in your diet because you thought they were unhealthy? Many of my patients grew up during the fat-free craze of the 1980s and 90s and developed habits that are actually detrimental to their joint health. Remember, not all fats are created equal. The right fats, like those found in avocados, are not just permissible but essential for healthy aging and comfortable movement. I often tell my patients to think of avocados as nature's joint lubricant, a delicious, natural way to help keep your body's hinges running smoothly well into your golden years. Ready to make avocados part of your daily routine? Your future self and your joints will thank you. Before we continue, I'd like you to take a moment right now to notice your joints. Where do you feel the most discomfort or stiffness? Make a mental note of these areas. These are the parts of your body that might benefit most from the nutritional support we're discussing today. Throughout this journey, I encourage you to keep track of how these specific areas feel as you implement these dietary changes. Imagine a future where your body feels like it's working with you, not against you, where movement brings joy, not dread. I want you to take a moment and picture yourself 5 years from now. In one scenario, you've continued down the same path you're on now, perhaps accepting joint discomfort as an inevitable part of aging. But in another scenario, you've made simple, consistent changes to nourish your joints from the inside out. In this second future, you're the grandparent who gets down on the floor to play with the grandkids and gets back up again without a struggle. You're the friend who suggests long walks instead of sedentary activities. You're the spouse who can still hold hands and dance on your anniversary. This isn't fantasy. I've seen countless patients transform their joint health and reclaim activities they thought were behind them forever. Jack, an 86-year-old patient of mine, began incorporating avocados daily after we discussed their benefits for joint health. He had a simple goal: to be able to kneel in his garden again. "I don't expect miracles," he told me. "I just want to feel the soil in my hands again, without paying for it with pain later." 6 months later, Jack sent me a photo of himself kneeling by his tomato plants, soil-covered hands giving a thumbs up. Small victories like these aren't small at all. They're the essence of a life well lived. The beauty of the avocado approach to joint health is its simplicity and naturalness. There's something profoundly satisfying about addressing health challenges with whole foods rather than solely relying on medications, though of course those have their place too. Always consult your doctor before making health decisions, especially if you have existing medical conditions. What I find most moving in my practice is watching people reclaim not just physical comfort, but the joy that comes with free movement. There's a psychological burden that lifts when your body becomes an ally rather than an adversary, when you wake up expecting comfort rather than bracing for pain. Let me ask you something important. What activity would you love to reclaim if your joint pain improved? Perhaps it's playing an instrument, gardening, dancing, or simply picking up your grandchild without wincing. Take a moment to envision yourself doing that activity with ease and joy. That vision, that's what we're working toward together. I invite you to share that activity in the comments below. Your aspiration might inspire someone else who's struggling with similar limitations. Are you ready to take this first step towards smoother, more comfortable joints? Here's what I invite you to do this week. Add avocado to your grocery list. Choose fruits that yield slightly to gentle pressure, indicating ripeness. Try at least 3 different ways of incorporating avocado into your meals. Pay attention to how your body feels after 2 weeks of regular avocado consumption. Share this information with someone you care about who might also benefit. And if you found this information helpful, I'd be so grateful if you'd give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to this channel. Click that notification bell so you don't miss our next exploration of practical, evidence-based ways to age powerfully and purposefully. Your engagement helps us reach more people who could benefit from this information, people just like you, who refuse to accept discomfort as the inevitable price of aging. The community we're building here is about sharing wisdom, supporting each other, and challenging the limiting beliefs about what's possible as we age. I'd love to hear about your experiences with joint health in the comments below. What works for you? What challenges are you facing? Your story might be exactly what another viewer needs to hear today. Remember, aging is inevitable, but suffering is optional. With the right knowledge and simple, consistent actions like adding avocados to your diet, you can write a different story for your joints and your future. I'll see you in our next video, where we'll continue exploring practical ways to not just add years to your life, but add life to your years.